Hello guys, welcome back again. Dead Ringers here. We're doing yet another video, another hero build series, and today we will be covering the EV2 builder. So this is the builder, this is not the DPS hero. So for this, the popular opinion on the internet is that you should use her for crit damage. I say no on that one. And the reason for that is the damage when you're comparing the damage of the proton beams compared to a PDT tower, it's next to nothing. It's really not that great. So if we have a look here, so I haven't done anything in crit damage. All I've concentrated my efforts on is defense power, and I'm at 15k DPS there. Now, if I put everything in crit, I go up to about 19, maybe 20 odd k DPS, which is a 5k DPS increase. But for me, I don't really care about damage with this thing. So I use mine almost exclusively for two things: slowing down the mobs and buffing my defenses. So that's not to say that the proton beam is useless. It's far from useless, and it's absolutely critical. Oh, I did not mean to press that. But in terms of crit damage, I don't care about damage with the proton beam. It's not what I care about. So this is what I care about. Buff beam. That DP bonus there, that increases with defense power. Whereas this thing, the DPS, it goes up, as I said, to about 5k more, but nothing really to write home about, to be honest, when comparing it to the PDT, which you can then boost further with the buff beam because you put more defense power into the buff beam, if that makes sense to you. So what do I use the proton beam for? Well, I use it, as I said, to slow down the mobs massively. So first of all, let's look at the equipment here. Now, I've aptly named mine Buffy, like that one. So there's a few things here that you're looking for on your equipment. First is obviously defense power. Then you do want defense crit because it does scale so well. Not saying that you should go get defense health or something, because it's mostly not needed. But defense crit is the other thing to go for, just because it does scale well. But defense power is the thing that we are most concerned with. And then defense crit chance, that's always a good one to go for. Again, because it does scale well, and if you can get it at the same time, you may as well. And then the other important, very important passive that you want on two pieces of equipment is the Frosty node. As you can see here on my tome canister, I have defense power and hero damage. Well, hero damage, you can't avoid that, but I've gone for defense power. And I have a Frosty node, Frosty proton node passive, which gives me a 2% chance, the max is 3, for the proton node to freeze all enemy it touches for 3 seconds. That is really, really nice, and you can also get that passive on your medallion. So again, I've got the Frosty node, Frosty proton node there. So that gives me a 5% chance in total to freeze all the enemies. And actually, it's quite a nice one, this medallion. Quite high item power with some defense crit chance, defense power and defense crit damage. Definitely lucked out on that one. So we've got the Frosty node there. Although it's 5% chance, well, with this thing hitting once every 0.3 seconds, that actually adds up to quite a few chances there, and more often than you think, you definitely see those mobs getting frozen. Looking at the other gear, there's nothing else really that's important. As I said, you want defense power is the main thing that for this build we're after, and defense crit as well is useful with defense crit chance. Nothing to write home about here. Defense power, defense crit with defense crit chance. And then yeah, on my kitty general, I put in defense power and defense crit again. So that should cover it for the equipment side. Let's go look at the stats. So as I said, some people just tell you to put everything in defense crit. For me, I don't think the damage is worth it. Again, I use this, I don't rely on this for damage. I've got the PDTs that more than cover that. So for me, I'd rather have the higher boost on the buff beams, the higher buffing power. So that's the reason why I max out, first of all, defense power, because that's what it scales with. And then interestingly, defense speed, you only need to put 78 points into defense speed. That's because you can see here the rate is 0.3 seconds, and that is the lowest you can go. So putting in more points there does nothing. Interesting, I didn't know that until a few weeks ago. So 78 points there, which leaves you gives you 22 extra points to plow into defense crit, because why not? Defense range, I haven't found that makes any difference for anything, so it's a pretty pointless one there. Whereas most other builders, you pretty much always want to max out defense range, but for this one, not. So at this stage, you may be thinking, well, you've got a 5% chance to freeze mobs, i.e. slowing them down. That's not that great. What do you mean slowing them down? This is where the spheres come into play. So the first sphere is lucky actually that these newer, I guess not the original 4 characters, these newer heroes use only large skilled spheres. That's because we can have 4 of them. So the first one here is Chilling Strikes. There's a 10% chance on hit to chill a target for 2 seconds, slowing them by 35%. If you add that with the, as per my other video, with a Serenity or a Monk, that you're getting on there for, you know, a good 60% slow. 35 plus 35, I'm assuming it stacks like that. So either way, you're getting a good slow off this. If it doesn't even stack, you're getting a 35% slow. Then there's also a 10%, there's the Oiling Strike Sphere, a 10% chance on hit to oil target for 2 seconds, slowing them by 35%. Again, that's really nice. Really nice to get done as well. And then there's this Panic Fire Sphere. I just whacked that in there. I don't think it even does anything, but I bought it anyway because there's 15% chance when defense is damaged to increase defense speed by 100% for 5 seconds. No idea that as far as I know, they cannot get damaged. But I just whacked it on there because, hey, why not? I've got nothing else to use it for. If we look at the other spheres here, you could put Shattering Torpedo on perhaps, and maybe instead of this one, you could go buy the other sphere that gives you more. Where is it? It gives you more proton. Not more proton. Sorry. Gives you more reflect nodes. Sustain 2 more nodes. Might as well use that one instead. Oh, which one was it? Was it this one? Nope. Mega Death Laser. There we go. We might as well use that. So, there you have it. You've got 2 spheres there which really help with the slowing down. And then with the Frosty node as well, this proton beam really can help slow those mobs down. And just to show you what I mean about the defense power and the boosting, here's my normal tier 1. Does 27,388 poison damage. If we put him on here, that jumps up to 35,000 poison damage. So it's a really nice increase there in damage output. Very good indeed. So yeah, I'll now jump into a game and quickly show you just how slow you can make those enemies. Hey guys, so I just quickly set up a Maldonis incursion here. So just to show you the slowing ability, the slowing power of these proton beams. And I'll do a quick comparison as well of the damage between the proton beams and the PDTs, just to show you why I think you shouldn't really bother speccing them, the proton beams, for damage. So let's press G, and we'll watch the mobs come into this one. I put the PDT way back over there, you can't even see it. Put it way back over there to give this a proton beam, which is tier 5, chance to kill mobs and do some damage and slow them down. So you can see here it's slowing them down massively. You see the chill sphere there working because they get chilled. And is it going to get frozen? No, they did not get frozen in that stage. So there we go. That one got... You can see how much they slow it down. So that can be a better view like that. There we go. There's the Frosty node kicking in, doing its job. As I said, although it's only 5%, it does actually seem to trigger quite a bit. So we can see here, this Frosty node is definitely tallying up the damage. Sorry, Frosty node. This Proton beam with Frosty node. Slowing those things right down. And if you look at my mini-map, you can see everything just getting killed there and slowed down. But look at the amount of time it takes them to cross just that small section. They are seriously slowed down. And there's that Frosty node again. Feels more than 5% chance. Great, so let's have a look how much DPS, how much damage they did. Oh, lovely screen there, always hides it. So that's, to me, that looks like 11.2 million with 34 kills. So that's pretty good. 11.2? What did I say? 11.2 million there with 34 kills. What does this one do? So this one has done 40... I'm assuming that's 1, 2, 3... I think that's 42 million DPS. Or actually... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 42 million. I don't think that's 420 million. But it's 42 million DPS. And 117 kills. So yes, the proton beams can put out some decent damage. But they are nowhere near what the PDTs can do. They are really not as good as the PDTs by any stretch of the imagination for DPS purposes. And again, this one here, they're just tidying up. So I think there's a pretty fair comparison there between the proton beams and the PDTs with regards to damage. As I said, I prefer to have that extra DPS boost here to those buff beams, because I think that gives me more damage overall, while still giving me that amazing slowing ability on the proton beams. So with these proton beams up here, it really helps to keep those mobs just in here, and they can't escape and go anywhere else. So yeah, that's it. That's the EV2 builder for the Frosty node proton beams. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see next, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Thanks again guys for watching, and catch you later. Bye.